What's up, Mad Max 408? I'm starting a little bit late. There's a couple folks sitting over here, but I don't want to disturb their peace and quiet while they were sitting here, so I came back around. Right, I'll wait to get a few more people in here. Well, I guess I wasn't the only one that was doing a live stream here at 5. So, better late than never then. Nice to have you here, ain't I, Mouse? I'm gonna restart it again, guys. I don't know if my notifications are going out or not. I don't know if you guys got them. Alright. Well, it's taking a little longer for people to get in here. They might be somewhere else or kind of busy. Anywho, I guess we'll go ahead and get started, or should I start it over again? Hey, Roadie's Jam Cave. Alright, now we got what says 4 watching and 3 thumbs up. Yeah, we'll wait a couple of minutes. Lori Croft, welcome in. Hey, I've been doing all right, man. Not too bad. How you guys doing? How you guys been? Yeah, man. I passed by here and I seen a couple sitting here at this exact table, so I don't want to come over here and just start doing my live stream. So I came back around and I was gonna go do it at the library because they got Wi-Fi there too. But it doesn't have a good signal strength like it does here, so I just came back here and let you know that a couple was gone that was sitting here. next week. Oh wow, okay. Oh, go ahead and go ahead and make Rhodey a mod, and ain't nothing else. You are now a mod too. Yeah, around my mom's age there. No problem, guys. No problem, guys. As y'all don't know, we're in the Images of America book here. Tombstone, Arizona. And it's going to be chapter 6, The Law and the Outlaw. I guess we can go ahead and get started since we have enough folks in here. Cochise County, named for the famous Apache warrior, was carved out of the southeast corner of Pima County on February 1st, 1881. The county area covers a little more than 4 million acres and it's the equivalent size of Connecticut and Rhode Island combined. The new county started out with so much trouble that the governor threatened to declare martial law. The booming silver mining town of Tombstone won the county seat over its contenders Bisbee and Wilcox. Although the most famous fight was the Earp Holiday versus Clan McLaury gunfight at the OK Corral, the fledgling county and Tombstone had many gunfights that were equally interesting but not as well known. People often, for good cause, did not think too much of early Tombstone justice. A story is told of the cowboy accused of murder paid an Irishman on his jury to vote for manslaughter. He got his verdict and asked the Irishman, "Did you have a hard time convincing the jury?" The jury replied, "I did indeed. They wanted to acquit you." From its inception, Cochise County was plagued with cowboy gangs, many cattle thieves who had been run out of Texas and New Mexico and found refuge in the rugged mountains of Arizona. They stole, murdered, and committed mayhem at will on both sides of the United States-Mexico border. The clans, the McLaurys, Johnny Behind the Deuce, Johnny Ringo, Curly Bill Broches, Buckskin Frank Leslie, Billy Claiborne, Burt Albert, and other infamous outlaws have passed into the annals of Cochise County history. Burt Albert has his picture taken as he enters the Arizona Territorial Prison at Yuma on March 4th, 1904. He was released on October 5th, 1905. He served as Sheriff John Slaughter's deputy and tried ranching and mining with no success. He became a train robber with Billy Stiles, Matt Burtz, and Billy Downing. One day, Albert and Matt Burtz went to Bisbee on a pleasure trip. Before returning, they sent the editor of the Epitaph a telegram reading, "Bodies of Burtz and Albert will arrive this afternoon." The reporter met the stage expecting to see 2 caskets. Except Burtz and Albert got off, and smiling broadly, Albert said, "Sure, our bodies arrived. We never go anywhere without them." Albert was troublesome, but there was enough humor in his escapades to make people forgive him. Albert's end is murky, and there is a report that he died on July 22nd, 1910 of fever in Barbados. Territorial prison on April 9, 1901. He was released on October 8, 1907. Albert, Burtz, and Three Finger Jack Dunlap teamed up. They met A mean no good from Casa Grande named Billy Stiles and another ne- ne- ne'er-do-well from Wilcox, Bill Downey. On the evening of September 11th, 1899, they held up a passenger train near Cochise. The robbers had a dynamite stashed nearby and they blew up the safe. The express messenger, Frank Melton, was wounded, but he shot three-fingered Jack Dunlap in the leg. Dunlap, left to die in the desert by his cohorts, was found by a posse and taken to a Tombstone hospital, where he gave lawmen the names of the rest of the outlaws before he died. Downey did not repent his ways and was shot in a Wilcox saloon on August 5th, 1908. Hey, what's up, Druzy? Matt Burt entered the Yuma Territorial Prison on December 14, 1900, and was released on April 8, 1901. When word of the train robbery got to Wilcox, everyone went looking for Constable Albert. They found him at Schweitzer's saloon in a card game with Billy Stiles and Matt Burt. Upon hearing of the train robbery, Albert broke up the game and deputized Stiles and Burt. This unholy trio was supposed to bring law and order. Someone spoke up and said Albert, Stiles, and Burt had not been in the saloon the entire evening. Sheriff Scott White became suspicious, and before long, Albert and Downey were in jail, along with George and Frank Lewis, who were thought to be part of the gang. Burt was caught in Tucson and returned to Tombstone. White shot and arrested Thomas Yoas, also known as Bravo Juan in Sonora. He was taken to Tombstone with a bullet in his leg. Excuse the wind, guys. The wind's kind of pushing in this way, in this direction. So if you have any trouble hearing, just let me know. William Larkin, Billy Stiles, was incarcerated in the Yuma Territorial Prison on July 6, 1900 for safekeeping after he turned state's evidence in the Albert Stiles train robbery. In an action calculated to irritate Sheriff White, Stiles and Albert sent a letter saying, "Scott White, Esquire, we send you the keys to the jail. We would have given them to Sid Mullen, but he was too swift for us. We cannot overtake him. We met the Mexicans that killed the gambler in Johnson Camp, but as we had no warrants, we did not arrest them. And we were afraid they would shoot. And we had no warrant, and we couldn't collect mileage. Tell the boys we are all well and eating regular. Tell the man I got Studebaker's saddle and I will send it home soon." The letter was signed Bravo Juan, Stiles, and Albert. A few years later, Stiles was serving as a deputy sheriff in Humboldt County under the name of William Larkin. He was shot to death on December 5th, 1908, while trying to deliver a court summons. John Slaughter, a tough Texan, cleaned up Cochise County's lawless element by seldom bringing in a prisoner alive. Slaughter had soured on juries who turned bad men loose. He and Cyrus H. Bryant ran a close race for sheriff in 1886, but Slaughter won by a narrow margin. Slaughter was a former Confederate soldier and was about 5 feet 4 inches with piercing black eyes. He came to Cochise County from Texas in 1879. Some say with a herd of rustled cattle. While Slaughter was sheriff, the supervisors allowed $28 for cuspidors for the courthouse, $666.65 for the care of smallpox patients. Citizens used their businesses as fronts and employed gunmen to steal range cattle and ore from small mines. Vanderwick Coster, a businessman by day, rode with rustlers at night. Juan Soto from Contention was another rough cutthroat. Slaughter got the woods on these men with the help of deputies, including Burt, who later turned outlaw. John Swain Slaughter, an ex-slave, came to Arizona with his former sheriff, John Slaughter. He was born into slavery on June 23rd, 1845, near San Antonio. While Slaughter was out enforcing the law, he left the running of the ranch to Swain and an ex-slave known as Old Battens. Swain bought a small ranch with his savings and raised a few animals and a vegetable garden. He became blind and died in the county hospital at Douglas on February 8, 1945. His last request was to be buried next to his old friend Quan Key at Boot Hill. His body was escorted to the cemetery by Fort Huachuca's military. Tombstone liked to poke fun at itself, as is seen in the stage holdup. If it had been a real holdup, the horses would never have stood still. Billy Styles' favorite newspaperman, George Smalley, performed a mock holdup in 1898. As a teenager, George H. Smalley served as editor of the Tucson Citizen. During his expose in the Citizen of a $10 million mining swindle, Smalley was shot at three times. However, Smalley criticized Cochise County Sheriff Del Lewis for handcuffing outlaw Billy Styles. The outlaw resented Lewis for not accepting his word of honor. When the sheriff offered Styles a beer, the outlaw smashed his fist into the sheriff's face. When Smalley heard that Styles was hiding out near Tucson in 1898, he printed a notice in the paper asking for the outlaw to come in and pose for him. Styles agreed, and the two met behind Kurt Hart's gun shop. Hey, thank you, Lori. And anything helps, you know. Cochise County Sheriff Jerome Ward had the dubious honor of being tied up in the Tombstone Courthouse while many of his constituency lynched John Heath. Cochise County's first elected sheriff, Jerome Ward, was born in Oneida County, New York in 1833. His family moved to Wisconsin in 1843, where he formed and served 1 year in the 1st Wisconsin Cavalry during the Civil War. In 1873, the Ward family moved to California, and 5 years later they moved to Arizona, where Ward engaged in freighting. They moved again to Chicago for 2 years, but returned to Tombstone, where Ward was elected sheriff as a pronounced Democrat. After serving as sheriff, Ward was appointed guard at the Yuma Territorial Prison. In 1912, he moved to San Diego, where a year later he was killed in a truck accident during a parade. Hey, Realist, welcome in, brother. Appreciate you dropping by, man. John Heath hangs from a telegraph pole near Tombstone. On December 8, 1883, outlaws held up a store in Bisbee. The outlaws killed several men and shot Miss Roberts, who died, along with her unborn child. The desperados took $600 and fled on horseback amid a fusillade of shots. When John Heath, who was drinking in a bar, tried to throw the posse off track, Deputy Billy Daniel became suspicious. He learned that the gang that committed the robbery and murder consisted of Red Sample, Bill Delaney, Dan Kelly, Dan Dowd, and Tex Howard, and that their leader was John Heath. Heath got a life sentence, but the other five were sentenced to hang. This outraged the people of Bisbee. On February 22nd, 1884, Vigilante committed tied-up jail with Billy Ward, and Sheriff Ward removed his cell. Yeah, Rhodey. And that's all she wrote. All right. And we shall continue. In 1917, the International Workers of the World, IWW miners in Bisbee, went on strike. With the United States involved in World War I, many considered the strike treason. Cochise County Sheriff Harry Wheeler scored 572 special deputies, and on July 12, 1917, 1,187 non-working miners, along with their attorney, William B. Cleary, were arrested, loaded onto waiting cattle cars, and shipped to Columbus, New Mexico. The cattle cars were provisioned with bread and tepid water. At Columbus, the men were met by the U.S. 12 Cavalry and all-black contingent. They provided the strikers with tents, showers, latrines, and 2 meals of beans and hardtack a day. If anybody knows what hardtack is, beans and hardtack. So yeah, there's quite a few people there. Yeah. Cornbread. Hardtack, okay. I'll have to look that up. Hey. There's my friend right there, Bisbee News Network. And we're just talking about Bisbee right now. I've been reading about Bisbee. Look, it's doing Bisbee here somewhere. Where's it at? Right here. This is the guy hanging from a telegraph pole there. And this is where all the miners went on strike in 1917. Yep. Robert Napoleon French, Cochise County attorney, swore out warrants for every deputy and several Phelps Dodge officials involved in the deportation of Harry Wheeler. Oh, okay, Anon, I got you. was something to that degree. You know, they just give you water and some bread or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Bisbee deportation, man. Okay. Wheeler was brought back from France to stand trial for kidnapping. No convictions were secured because the deportation was represented as a war measure. The jury who heard the evidence in Tombstone included from left to right Lee Holland, Apache, Andrew Mortensen, Douglas, John Jones, Sunnyside, Henry Richards, Hereford, W.O. Patterson, Benson, Amos Gretton from Douglas, seated Frank Brown from Wilcox, B.K. Riggs, Jesse Armstrong, El Dorado, Clifford, question mark, Jesse Ann Curtis, Happy Camp Canyon, and J.O. Calhoun, foreman of the jury. Yeah, you guys go ahead and sub to each other, man. Yeah, and help each other out. If you guys aren't already sub to each other. That Bisbee News Network, man, he's not that far from me, so it's just like maybe a 30, 40-minute ride to Bisbee from here. So this photograph of the 1901-1902 Cochise County officers was taken in front of the Cochise County Courthouse in Tombstone. From left to right are standing Hugh Conlon, Under Sheriff William Hadditch, editor and proprietor of the Tombstone Prospector, Sheriff W. Bestwick, probate judge Del Lewis, Sheriff Ed Lamb, County Attorney, and Jack Matthias, jailer. M.D. Scribner, Treasurer, Abel Emanuel, Clerk of the Court, and Tom York, Chairman of the Board of Supervisors. These guys are on the front of the book here, guys. Very dapper the way they dress in there. Sheriff Del Lewis poses with his friends. From left to right are standing Dale Graham, Frater, G.J. McCabe, and William Scott, Frank Johnson, Sheriff Adelbert Del Lewis, and Charles Lachlan. Del Lewis is 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 260 pounds. When Lewis shut the iron bar doors of the Hotel Lewis, a nickname for the Cochise County Jail behind a new prisoner, the bailiff would boom. Hear ye, hear ye. The Kangaroo Court of the Cochise County Jail, having jurisdiction over all persons within its confines, is now in session. Prisoners remove their hats and form a circle around the judge. The new arrivals were read the revised statutes of the court and were subject to Rule Number 1, which stated that all persons entering this jail were subject to a fine of no less than $1. Del Lewis's many friends were saddened when they heard that he had died on December 31st, 1911, after an operation to remove cancer of the tongue. Jeez, I've never heard of that, man. Cancer on the tongue. Robert Hatch, born in 1842, served in the Union forces during the Civil War and arrived in Tombstone in 1880. He ran unopposed for Cochise County Sheriff in 1884. He was ordered by the supervisors to get a janitor to keep order in the courthouse for $50 a month. Florence Hamseth was hired as janitrix. Hatch purchased 5 dozen hand grenades for the protection of county buildings. A sub-jail was constructed in Bisbee, and A. Barnaby was paid $4 for candles to light it. On October 6, 1885, Sheriff Robert Hatch offered a $500 reward for the capture of Geronimo, dead or alive. Also, Virgil Earp gave Hatch power of attorney to settle his mining claims. Hatch went on to become assistant superintendent of the Yuma Territorial Prison. He died at Fort Yuma on June 3rd, 1904. Sheriff Carlton B. Kelton was born in Baltimore, Maryland on July 8, 1839 and served as a Confederate captain during the Civil War. He fought with General Robert E. Lee at Manassas. On May 7, 1879, Kelton left Washington, D.C. with a party of 11 men under Major Hall for Arizona and reached Tombstone in the latter part of June. He served as a customs collector at Lochiel, a deputy U.S. Marshal, and a mounted border patrol inspector. Kelton, a big, kind-hearted man, permitted his prisoners to exercise in the jail yard. A few even exercised themselves right over the prison walls. After serving as sheriff, he was elected to the territorial legislature. After this term, Kelton moved to Virginia and lived in an Elks home. On October 8, 1925, he was found dead on a train at Greenville, Alabama. He was on his way back to Arizona for a pioneers reunion. Hey, what's up, Dill-Ho? Deputy Sheriff Guy C. Welsh was appointed to fill out Harry Wheeler's term when Wheeler went off to war. Guy Crittenden Welsh, born at Greeley, Colorado on April 15, 1879, attended the State Normal School at Greeley. He worked in a store and joined a surveying party before serving into the Spanish-American War. After the war, he remained in Manila with the American Commercial Company for 5 years. He returned to the United States and was employed by Seattle Lumber Company in 1905. Shortly after Welsh took office, Fred Koch shot and mortally wounded T.R. Brandt, cashier of Tombstone's First National Bank, who had refused to give him all the money in sight. Koch became frightened and fled without taking any money. Welsh organized a posse and captured Koch after the posse directed a number of bullets in the direction of the fugitives. Hey, Carradine. Welcome in. Ben, good to see you. Sheriff Joseph E. Hood, born February 14, 1880 in Nutrioso, Arizona, was an assistant postmaster and worked for the U.S. Customs Service. Hood's most famous case involved the robbery of the Bisbee Post Office in 1921. When the janitor Simon S. Cabrito went to work the evening of April 5th, he found an empty vault and postmaster Lon Bailey tied to a chair and gagged. His face beat. Bailey gave Deputy Vernon Lamore and Hood detailed descriptions of two men who he said beat him and took about $42,000 from the vault. Post office inspectors could not find anyone fitting Bailey's description. On April 17th, federal detectives advised Hood that they were going to arrest Bailey. After some pressure, Bailey indicated he was ready to talk. He ended up serving his sentence at Leavenworth. Joseph V. Hood died on August 25th, 1960 at age 80 in Kingman, Arizona, where had been a successful rancher. I want to thank you all for coming in, man, and showing each other love and connecting with each other. Look at this, guys. There goes the cops right there. Oh, they were here yesterday too. Alright, Lori, hey, thank you for dropping in. And the cops were here yesterday too. I'm not sure why they were here. It was the chief of police that was here and somebody in a black and white cruiser. Sheriff George Henshaw was born in 1879 in Phoenix and came to Cochise County in 1900. Before going to work as a deputy sheriff, Henshaw worked as a bookkeeper for the Cananea Consolidated Copper Company in Mexico. Henshaw always contended that the automobile put added strain on lawmen because criminals could get away quicker and go farther, and cattle rustlers could use tracks. Oh my gosh, where did I leave off here? We could use tracks instead of horses. Sorry guys, I got off track there. In 1929, Mexico was in the throes of a revolution and weekend visitors swarmed over the border to collect souvenirs off the dead. When several spectators were killed, Henshaw swore in extra deputies to keep the curious out of bullet range. During Henshaw's tenure, Deputy Sheriff Charles Bradley was shot by John Lyall of Tombstone on October 14, 1929. Bradley had arrested Lyall for stealing cattle. Lyall was found guilty, but the Arizona Supreme Court reversed the decision. Lyall then swore out a warrant charging that Bradley had perjured himself when he claimed his name was Bradley when really it was McNally. Bradley was ordered to come to Benson by private conveyance, and Lyall was told to stay in Tombstone. However, Bradley met Lyall in Tombstone. 7 shots were fired by the 2 men who were never more than 4 feet apart. The bullet hit Bradley in the stomach. Tombstone Chief of Police Pugh placed Lyall under arrest. Fatty Ryan, a native of Ireland, served as a colorful Tombstone Chief of Police. He was in Virginia City at the time of his boom, and in 1880 left Nevada for Tombstone. He was also a member of the fire department and owned the Exchange Saloon in Bisbee. He would open a gambling game with a gold piece on top of a stack of lead. While in Bisbee in December of 1898, Fatty caught a cold that turned into pneumonia. At his funeral in Boot Hill, attorney Alan English said, "Fatty, old boy, rest in peace. And these days, king is high and ace is low." Hey, AJ, welcome. Welcome in. I appreciate you dropping by. William Barkley, Bat Masterson. William Barkley Masterson, aka Bat. A gunfighter, gambler, and sports writer, met the Earths in Dodge City and remained their lifelong friend. Barkley took a train to Trinidad, Colorado, where he boarded the new Santa Fe line. This train consisted of a caboose and an engine. When the train dropped off its few passengers, they embarked on an overland coach. Because Bat Masterson carried a Sharps rifle and 2 Colt revolvers, it was agreed that he should ride a shotgun next to the driver. Masterson took the train from Denby, New Mexico to Benson, where he caught a stage to Tombstone. Bat was soon in charge of keeping the peace at the Oriental. Trouble surfaced between Bat and another gunfighter, Luke Short. Morning hours of February 25th, 1881, Luke Short got into an altercation with Charlie Storms at the gaming tables. Bat Masterson took Storms to his room, but Storms lacked the good sense to stay there. Went back out into the street and confronted Masterson as he was trying to talk sense into Short. After listening to a few deprecatory words from Storms, Short stuck the muzzle of his gun into Storm's heart and pulled the trigger. Short died of dropsy in 1893 in Guido Springs at 39. Anybody know what dropsy means? Hey, tapatíos. ¿Qué pasó, amigo? If anybody know what a dropsy means, that's what this guy died of. Hey, better late than never. Buckskin Frank Leslie was known in Tombstone as a big Wendy, of whom little could be believed. In 1880, he became romantically involved with the wife of Mike Killeen. At a confrontation at the Cosmopolitan Hotel, Leslie shot it out with Killeen. Shortly thereafter, Leslie married Killeen's widow. After accusing him of beating her, she divorced Leslie. In 1889, after a liquor-soaked weekend, Leslie shot and killed his paramour, Molly Williams, and wounded a ranch hand, James Neal. He tried to blame the shooting on Neal, but a jury thought otherwise and sent him to the Yuma hellhole. That's the... Oh, I keep driving by here, guys. If you guys want to join story time, you guys are more than welcome. That's like the second time that I came by here again. Peter Spencer, also known as Peter Spence, was really Elliot Larkin Ferguson, an all-around bad guy in Texas around 1842. Came to Arizona around 1848 and may have robbed a mail rider near Prescott. He was also accused of robbing a stage near Benson in 1881. His wife, Maria Duarte, implicated him in the murder of Morgan Earp. None of these charges stuck. He ended up in the Yuma hellhole, convicted of the murder of Rodney O'Hara. But Governor Joseph Kibbe pardoned him in 1894. Spencer served briefly as a deputy sheriff in New Mexico. On April 2nd, 1910, he married Finn Clanton's widow, Laura Jane. He died of pneumonia near Globe on January 30th, 1914. After I get done with this, I'm going to take a look, see where these guys are going, because they've been by here twice already. Frank Cox and Marcus Aurelia Smith were colorful attorneys who argued with each other and drank together. Both men had extensive mining interests. Smith, born in Kentucky in 1852, received a law degree from Kentucky University and became a city attorney for Lexington. He went west and became ill in Tombstone. So touched by the kindness of the people that he moved west in 1880. He was also defended Frank Leslie in what may have been his most difficult case because a man who killed a woman was considered unworthy of life in Arizona. He was elected district attorney of Cochise County and ultimately became delegate to Congress. Marcus Aurelia Smith died in 1924. Attorney Allen Robert English, born in Michigan in 1858, arrived in Tombstone in 1880. He served as Tombstone's Justice of the Peace and Cochise County District Attorney. A big man with a rich, sonorous voice, his courtroom arguments went on for hours, spiced with Latin phrases and quotations from Shakespeare. English and a few tipplers were in a bar arguing about whether or not it was going to rain on June 24th, San Juan's Day. English said, if it rains, I'll strip naked and stand under the water spout. There was a downpour on June 24th in Alany, stark naked, stepped outside King's Saloon and stood under the water spout. When he did not get an appointment as U.S. District Attorney for Arizona Territory, he inquired why. English was told the application contained a picture of him standing naked under the water spout with a note which read, "This is the man you're considering for U.S. District Attorney?" This guy was fucking, he stood underneath the damn water spout. Well, he ate his own words. Cabrón, you shouldn't be standing under the damn water spout naked. Oh shit, that's fucking good, man. He ate his fucking words on that one. Yeah, some of these are getting pretty good, man. I like these. I like these books. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for this one. This is Jose G here at the Historic Railroad Park. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Hey, show me Sasquatch. He'll go ahead and make him out here. Well, I do appreciate you guys. As it was a beautiful day today. Perfect weather. No mosquitoes out today, which is a damn good thing. I don't know Bisbee News, but yesterday they came through, and the chief of police, he parked his truck there, the black truck, in that parking space right there, and went into this corner place right here. It's winery yesterday. Then another one, he just drove up right here and stopped. So I turned the camera towards him for a little bit, and he took off, and then the chief took off. But just a little while ago too, the two blacked out Tahoes, he just came by. Both of them went this way, turned right. The one of them just came back again, went back down Railroad Avenue. So after I shut this off, I'm gonna go take a look, see what we got going on. There might be something happening I don't even know about. But okay. Anyways, just want to say thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I will be back here tomorrow. Hopefully I can get some content tonight if I find anything out. And what gave you a wrench, AJ? Let me see if it'll work. Like clicking on your name. Ah, shit. Alright, AJ, I owe you a wrench next time we go live. That'll be tomorrow. So, later guys. Peace.